Hello, welcome back to our channel, Thrifty Day. Today we are going to be creating a whole Halloween layout. I'm going to be featuring some magic mail I received from some dear friends, Ashleigh and Daniel. I'm excited because I get to work in my brand new magic memory book. I'm going to feature some art. I will link it below. I love the little kitty prints. But really it's going to be about showcasing the Halloween mail that I'm showing you now. It's a picture of me and my best friend, and like I said, I'm going to be working in my brand new journal, and I'm going to use some of this ephemera and Halloween paper by Tim Holtz. I will also link that below. I purchased mine at Joann's and I loved it all very much, especially these little witches and the little people cutouts. I think they're going to add a lot of uniqueness. I hand dyed some doilies. These will be available in the shop very soon. They're large and I think they're really fun to work with, and they match the theme pretty well today. These are just some odds and ends I have. I try to keep them handy when I am doing my memory book. This is a little bingo card from Calamity Ephemera. I'll link her shop below. And just some little vintage bags I picked up. I don't even know if I'm going to use them, but they were so cute. So let's get started. I'm going to work right here in the middle. I already picked my pages and put down the backgrounds because that seems to take forever. So I got that black paper from Joann's. You can find it in their scrapbook section. So I glued those on and my pages are ready to go. I chose the one that looked Haunted Mansion-y to me. It's purple and fabulous. And I'm going to put this wax bag on there to hold the art prints. So you can still see them and I can keep them safe until I decide where I want to put them up in my house. And that's a picture of me and Ashleigh that has to go on there. I'm just trying to figure out the layout at this point. I'm always kind of flying by the seat of my pants when I make these DIYs. So I'm just figuring out where everything's going to go and how it's all going to work. I do know I want to use this bag. I've used this technique before. It's very simple. I just put double stick tape on the back of a wax paper bag and I put it directly onto the paper that I'm going to be using. So that's what I'm doing here. And it goes right on there. Use a lot of double stick tape. I just fold it right over the back to secure it. And then I put washi tape over it to secure it to the back of the paper because I don't want anything going anywhere, and washi tape will help keep it there. I also add washi tape to the inside of the book so that it looks pretty and it is secure. So now that all of the wax envelope is down on the page, I can add my art prints. That looks perfect. You can still see them. I think I'll just add one for now while I'm trying to figure out the rest of the layout. So now that I have that side done, I know I want to add my photo of my best friend and I. We love that picture of us. We use it all the time. I think it's like 2 years old, but we don't care. It's cute. We look cute. We were happy, and there are sunflowers behind us. So I'm just using double stick tape because you all know double stick tape is my best friend. So I just put it right onto the page. Double stick tape. And now I'm going to add this doily that I stained myself. I'm going to have these available in the shop. Right now I'm going to just glue it on there. You don't need very much glue because doilies are very thin, so you really need very little and it'll stick. And it kind of even goes through the little holes, so it's kind of messy, but it goes on very cleanly, you'll see. Doilies are hard to work with, but they dry really quickly, so once it's on the page, you're good to go. It's going to hang off quite a bit, so you'll see in a minute I'm about to just trim the edges. You just need to, just flip it over and just trim along the page line. It really doesn't need to be perfect because I've told you before, memory books are meant to hold memories and not be perfect and be authentic and be representative of you. And so it doesn't need to be perfect. And I love the way the tea staining and the dyeing looks on there. It's kind of purple and black, and I loved that look. It was perfect for Halloween. So now that I have a little bit of the base, I know I want to use these beautiful Tim Holtz ephemera that I picked up today at Joann's. There's so many neat Halloween images, very vintage. I couldn't decide which one, so this is just me trying to figure out which one works. And I went with the skeleton because it was just so iconic. And I'm gonna get my stapler and staple it right to the top. I thought that looked fun, and you lift it up and you see me and Ashleigh. And I'm gonna put my journaling in later because I wanna make sure I write something fun. I definitely wanna use these little people cutouts, also Tim Holtz. And I chose these little girls because I thought it was funny that was me and Ashleigh as kids, and then later on you'll see I choose the witches because that's like us now. So we've known each other a long time. We go back very far, and so I love that little Halloween picture peeking through. And I'm still trying to find a place to put that bingo card because I just love it so much. But instead I am going to go with a really cute little tag. It fit perfect. It's also Tim Holtz. The little tag set actually came with twine too, so that was really cute. It gets to kind of just hang out of the book, and I thought it looked really pretty. And I get to circle the date once I remember what the date is. And I just staple it right to the end. So that page is pretty much done. I'm really happy with how that looked. I just need to add the journaling. And so now I am going to try to decide what images to put over the wax paper. And spoiler, I already told you I picked the witches, so I just used some double stick tape to put it on there. You don't need a lot. And because I felt like there were some delicate points to the hat and the little broom, I grabbed a little bronze paper clip just to make sure they stay in place, and it adds a little bit of dimension. So I put the rest of my art prints in. I'm still looking to use that bingo card because it's so cute. But I went with another Tim Holtz tag because I like the idea of it picking out of the top. So I added a little bit more twine, and then later on I will journal the date on the top. And again, I'm just going to staple it right on. It's really easy, and I think it looks very festive and Halloween-y. So now I need to work on adding the actual magic mail that inspired this layout. I knew I wanted to keep the envelope because Ashleigh had taken great care to really decorate the front, and it looked so cute. He's so thoughtful whenever he sends mail, and it always brightens my day. And so what I went ahead and did was just added some washi tape and put it right in the middle of the book and created kind of another little layer to the center of the book. And that way the card can just stay in there, and I can still enjoy the envelope that he decorated with really cute Halloween stickers. And it just looks perfect. It looks like another page in my book, which makes me happy. And it kind of peeks out the side and adds color, which is also really neat. So now I need to cover that original page. As much as I love Van Gogh, it doesn't necessarily need to be showing, so I chose some more of that worn wallpaper cardstock from Tim Holtz. It was perfect. I originally was going to go with the pinky one, but then I found one that has a little bit of orange and yellow, and I decided to go with that. So I'm just going to glue it right down onto the page, and then I'm going to add that yellow doily right over the top. I just use all-purpose glue stick, very simple, and I just glue it right down onto the page. I love those worn wallpapers. I think he has some Christmas ones too, and I think I'm going to go buy them because they're actually a really great size, and they just have such a great look. And they're not too thick, but they're not too thin. They're perfect. So run out and buy some Tim Holtz stuff. It adds really neat layers and dimension. So now I decided I wanted to add this doily in there, and doilies were just, it was so hard to work with, and I couldn't figure out just how much of it I wanted peeking out, so it was a little bit of a puzzle trying to figure out how I was going to arrange it, but I eventually just decided to use most of the doily. That way I could get some journaling in there. It made kind of a mess, and also feature the doily that I actually love. I love the way it came out, and I used a vellum from Tim Holtz. It was a little bit long, so I definitely had to cut down that vellum a little bit, but I think it added such a great touch. The moon definitely brought out the colors from the doily. So now once the doily is on, and I make sure that it's all on there, I just need to make sure that it's flat because I do want to write on there. So it took a little bit of time, but I will get my bone folder out and make sure that it's all straight so that I can write on there. And I'll trim off that excess that's hanging off the bottom because I don't want to fold it over because I don't want to cover those cute little witches and all the stuff that's on the bottom. So that's what I'm doing there. And then I decide to add some washi tape though to secure it because those little kind of fringy parts of the doily were sticking out and it was driving me a little bit crazy. So I don't need things to be perfect, but I don't want them to look like hay, straw hay, you know, poking out of my book. So I added a little bit of washi tape to the bottom and it just created a cleaner look to make the page look a little bit more cohesive. And you can never use too much washi tape in my book, especially when it's really cute and decorative, getting you ready for Halloween, and it just really secures everything down. So I'll add one more piece of washi tape, of jack-o'-lantern washi tape over to the end there, and just wrap it right over to the front. That one was nice and thin, so it didn't even come near the little witches on the other side. So now that I have the base down, I knew I wanted to add the vellum. So like I said, it was a little bit long, so I just trimmed a little bit off at the end. And I realized there it wasn't straight, so I had to take it to my paper cutter because I am like not a straight cutter at all. So now that it's nice and straight, I stapled it just right on the top. And it was really easy. This was kind of a really easy page to make. It just was a lot of layers. So everything's peeking through. And I wanted to add the postcard, and I thought maybe about making it a flip out, but it wasn't working well. So eventually what I decided to do was just tuck it in the envelope with my card from Ashleigh. Okay, so these are my complete pages. I hope you enjoyed this Halloween layout. I hope you have a safe and happy Halloween. I'm gonna go do my journaling now so that you can see what the pages look like when they're complete. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.